Hi friends, story time, and today I bring you a story from India written by Rabindranath Tagore. Tagore has mostly written his stories in Bengali and they were later translated into European languages and many Indian languages also. The story I like to talk to today is known as The Living and the Dead, and it was written in the year 1892. Now, India is a land of mysticism. We believe in life after death. We believe that there is a soul in a body, and once a person dies, it comes out of the body. It stays in a mystic place for a certain period, and later it comes back to the world in a different form. So Tagore takes this myth, which the common people here believe, and then he adds his human experiences and his study of human nature and his philosophy of life to it, and then makes a framework for a story, which he calls as The Living and the Dead. Now, this story is about Kadambani, who's an young widow who has no children of her own. So she spends her time taking care of her brother-in-law's son. The little one is mostly attached to his aunt, and both share a special bond. One day, Kadambani falls sick and she dies. Her body is brought to the crematorium by four priests. They leave her body on the platform, and two of them go to gather the firewood for lighting the funeral pyre. The other two wait for the friends. When they don't come, these two go in searching for the first batch of priests. After some time, when they come back to the burial ground, they find that the body is not there. At first, they think that an animal must have dragged the body along with it, but they find no animal marks, and so they conclude that it must be the work of a ghost. They don't want to face the anger of the brother-in-law, so they go home and they tell them that they have completed the funeral rites and that the body is burnt. Now, Kadamini actually was in a comatose state, and the people thought that she died. She was brought to the burial ground in the same comatose state, but once when her body was left alone in the burial ground, she opens her eyes, she gains consciousness, she gets up, and she believes that she's really dead, and now she thinks that she has opened her eyes in that mystic land where a soul enters after death. She thinks that she's a ghost, and because she doesn't find anybody there, and because she's lying in the burial ground, she thinks that her funeral rites are over, and now she's a ghost. She gets up and she starts walking in the burial ground, and later, because after death she cannot go to her brother-in-law's place, she moves around in the village. Now, a stranger, a traveler, he sees her. He comes to her and he asks her if she has lost, and if she wants to go to some other place, he is ready to take her. Because Kadambani thinks that she really is a ghost, and because she has nobody to take care of her, and because she has no parents, and she cannot go to her brother-in-law's place because she presumes that she is already dead, she gives the address of a childhood friend. This traveler was kind enough to leave this Kadambani at her friend's doorstep. Her friend is shocked to see this lady who's from a rich family, and she inquires why she has come to her in that hour, mostly in the midnight. Kadambani talks to her and she tells her she wants to stay at her place for a few days as a servant. Her friend thinks that something must have happened in her family, so she gives her shelter in her house. But later, after a few days, she gets irritated by another woman's presence in front of her husband, and so she compels her husband to go and find out about what actually has happened at Kadambani's brother-in-law's place, and inform that she's staying with them. This man goes to the village, and later he comes back with the news that the lady who's staying in the house is not Kadambani, because she actually died and her funeral rites were also completed. Now, the friend takes her to be a ghost, because Kadambani gets up and she declares that she is Kadambani and she's the ghost, and she walks out of the house. The husband and the wife are left with shock. Having no other place to go, she goes to her brother-in-law's place because she really loves them. She wants to see them, and she wants to see the little one with whom she is really attached. She goes home, but she sees that her brother-in-law has forgotten her. Her sister-in-law is actually enjoying a game of cards, and she is happy in her own little world. But she steps into the room and she finds that the little one who is attached to her, the nephew, is actually sick. The nephew opens his eyes, he sees her aunt, and he asks for water. Kadambani gives him the water and she hugs the boy. But later, everybody in the house, they come to the sick bed and they think that she is a ghost, and the mother faints there. The father goes on his knees and he pleads her, asking her to leave the house. The little one, who now thinks that it's not his aunt but his aunt ghost, he also pleads her to leave. Kadambini is shocked by the attitude of the people around. She tells them that she's actually alive and she's not a ghost and she has come to live with them. But the family is not ready to accept her, and because they believe that she's the ghost. To prove that she's alive, she jumps into a well and she dies. The story ends here. Now, through the story, what is Tagore actually wants to convey? If you actually read the story as a story, yes, there is so much of confusion behind it. There is so much of mysticism behind it. But the writer wants to tell us that we are actually what people presume about us. What they think actually builds us and what they think actually molds us. The society molds us in the way it thinks and we react to it accordingly. The public opinion and the society's opinion is actually becomes the base of our survival. Here, people were not ready to believe that Kadambini was a person in flesh, but they believe that she's a ghost, and so to prove that she's alive, she had to actually give her life and prove that she was not the ghost. This is what happens to the people around. We are what we are, but we live according to what the world wants to see in us, or according to what the world presumes about us. There's great philosophy behind it, but actually, if you read the story once, maybe it leads to a lot of confusion, it leads to a lot of questions. But as you read between the lines, as you try to understand the essence of the story, as you try to understand how a character of a person is seen through the eyes of the world and how the world presumes something and then it believes in whatever it presumes and it wants everything to happen according to its own assumptions, and people act accordingly to society's assumptions. The writer wants to tell us how the society molds us, how the society creates a character, how the society creates a thought process, and how the society creates and influences the philosophy of life of every individual on this planet. A beautiful story, a wonderful story by Rabindranath Tagore. Though there are many stories like Kabuliwala and Postman, which have won international fame, this is very close to my heart and I've enjoyed sharing it with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.